Hi friends, I am Jen Johnson and this is Thought by Thought Healing, and today I want to talk about imaging because it's really an important subject. If you think that the cause of your pain is something that's showing up on your MRI, this might be a good episode for you to listen to, just to ask the question, is it? Is it actually the cause? And today I'm going to be talking about other people's research, so I don't need you to just trust me. I'll be putting these articles, these studies in the show notes so that you can look for yourself and really start to explore whether or not that is the cause of your pain, or if maybe, just maybe, you can actually recover and reverse those chronic symptoms. But before we go there, I am Jen Johnson. I am a chronic pain coach, and I help people to recover from neuroplastic or mind-body TMS pain. I come at this from a Christian perspective. So if that's important to you, then you're definitely in the right place, and you should check out my website. But today is really going to be about science and other people's research. So stick around and hear what other people have discovered on this topic. So let's start with, kind of what I'm going to be talking about is whether or not the pain is correlative to the abnormality that you're seeing on the MRI, or causation, because that's a big difference. Or is it even coincidental? What is happening? Why is this thing showing up in your imaging? And is it the cause of your pain? And what if it wasn't? What if it wasn't and you are actually able to heal? What if your MRI wasn't a life sentence? I'm so glad for my own sake that I found this research, because it really gave me my whole life back. And I know that is the truth for a lot of you listening. And a lot of my clients also have discovered that, it was not. It had nothing to do with this normal abnormality that is on my MRI. So I'm going to be talking about research around back pain, hip pain, and knee pain. Actually, I'm not going to be talking about the pain. I'm going to be talking about the abnormalities that are found in your back, your hip, and your knees. But there are more areas of your body that can have abnormalities and don't necessarily need to cause pain. Vomit. Victim of medical imaging technology. We are starting to call it this because even the Western medicine world is starting to understand there's something wrong here. BARF, brainless application of radiological findings. This is a problem. There is an article written called Toward a Comprehensive Management Strategy for Incidental Findings in Imaging. Incidental findings is the key point here. He says, incidental findings are increasingly seen as a systemic problem plaguing the healthcare and compromising patient care. He's calling for the medical community to make some changes in how we are communicating with people about these images. And the reason for that is, as you're going to see through all this research, that there are normal abnormalities in all of us, and they do not have to cause pain. They are not necessarily the cause of our pain. Imaging does have its place. It is helpful at times, but what's happened is that we've become so attuned to every little normal abnormality. You may call them gray hairs within or wrinkles on the inside, that we're attributing our pain to that. If you're anything like a lot of my clients, you may have even had an increase in pain after you saw the imaging because it was scary, or it was a life sentence, or you felt like you were going to be stuck in chronic pain because of this imaging. So I'm wanting to give just a pause to the attention that your brain is giving to this image, and therefore to your pain, because we also scientifically know that catastrophizing turns up pain. And then you have to ask the question and really listen for the answer. Why? If we don't have correlation between, or we don't have cause, we don't have a direct causal relationship between what we're seeing on an image and what's causing the pain, and we also know that catastrophizing turns up pain, we're starting to see a direction happen here. I'm going to be quoting research that is from highly reputable, esteemed sources, and I did that on purpose because I think that is important. I I want you to know that this information is coming from sources that have clout, and that we can respect and learn from. So the first one I want to talk about is my favorite one, maybe because it's the biggest one, and it is a study that was done on 33 articles or studies done on reporting imaging findings. So there was a study done on 33 studies that included a total of, across those 33 studies, 3,110 asymptomatic individuals, so individuals with no pain. It is called Systematic Literature Review of Imaging Features of Spinal Degeneration in Asymptomatic Populations, in case you want to find it in the show notes or Google it yourself. So in that research, those 3,110 individuals had normal abnormalities show up. Note that they, again, have no pain. They're not in pain, asymptomatic. Disc degeneration showed up, disc signal loss, disc height loss, disc bulge, disc protrusion, annular fissures, facet degeneration, and spondylolisthesis. I shouldn't have even tried to say that. Okay, and I'm also going to try to show, right now I'm recording this, and then I'm going to try to upload this image so that you can see what that research showed. I'm just going to read a few of the statistics to you, but 37% of 20-year-olds have disc degeneration. 96% of 80-year-olds have DD. That tells you something right now. They don't have pain. I also want you to see that there is a correlation between as you age, that you have more normal abnormalities that show up, but it does not show that those abnormalities cause pain, which means that aging does not have to cause pain. The degeneration in your body, the gray hairs on the inside, the wrinkles on the inside, they do not have to cause pain. You will have normal abnormalities that are part of getting older, but they do not have to be scary. Let's just look at a couple more here. Disc bulges. 30% of 20-year-olds have disc bulges, no pain. 84% of 80-year-olds have no pain, but they have disc bulges. So there is a lot of discrepancy between what we are assuming, what we've been told, and what now research and science from reputable sources is saying. We do want to be really careful about what we are attributing our pain to. So a couple other things that I'm going to quote from that very research was the person wrote, perhaps most important, the relationship between imaging findings and surgical outcome has not been well established, which means surgical outcomes are not well established as helpful. The other thing, quote, a number of previously published studies have demonstrated the increasing prevalence of degenerative spine findings with increasing age in asymptomatic patients, which I also interpret as aging degeneration doesn't have to cause pain. We are seeing this also in in other research this is in the New England Journal on back pain. 36% of 98 individuals that are also pain-free had normal discs at all levels. I want you to hear that again. Only 36% of pain-free people had normal discs. That means the majority of us have abnormalities in our spines. 64% of these people without back pain had a disc abnormality, either a bulge or a protrusion. And then the third thing is the prevalence of bulges does not have to cause pain. It did increase, the prevalence of bulges increased with age, but the pain did not. The prevalence of bulges increased with age, but the pain did not. I think that's also just, again, we're seeing the same thing over and over again in all this research. There's another one done on the study of knees, 710 people over the age of 50. 89% of them, they found an abnormality in their knees, again, and those are people without pain. They found osteophytes, cartilage damage, bone marrow lesions, subchondral cysts, meniscal lesions, synovitis, attritions, and ligamentous lesions. So there's a lot of abnormalities that we often think, oh no, this showed up in the MRI, and it does not have to actually be the cause of pain. Those abnormalities, by the way, in that study also were found in the a separate group of people that did have pain. So we are basically, what that is saying is we are seeing these abnormalities of the knees in people that have pain and do not have pain. Another one was done, this was a smaller one, 39 hockey players, and they did pelvic and hip MRIs, and those hockey players were asymptomatic, again, pain-free, and they had MRI findings of hip and groin pathological abnormalities, again, with people without pain. And then I just want to talk briefly about even one of my own clients came, and she had heard messaging from her doctors of bone-on-bone herniated disc. And I mean, the threatening and scary language that had been handed to her from her doctor really had her in a lot of terror, to the point that it actually almost worried me. There was other language that he had used that really made it sound like there was no hope for her, that she was stuck in pain. And we decided to go ahead with pain reprocessing therapy, and she is now healing and is finding that as she uses pain reprocessing therapy skills and turning down her fear of the pain, she actually can make the pain go away, which is absolutely amazing, because we do know that fear and catastrophizing causes pain. And then finally, of course, I have to talk about pain reprocessing therapy, because that is what I do. The Boulder back pain study, published in JAMA, which is also very reputable. 100 chronic pain patients that had been in pain for 11 years at least, and 98% of them were pain-free or nearly pain-free after doing PRT, pain reprocessing therapy, which is just addressing the brain's beliefs about what is the cause of the pain and turning down that fear, and using safety to understand these MRIs, these normal abnormalities are not to be afraid, and learning techniques to reframe what they are. They are not a big deal. They are just gray hairs on the inside. They're wrinkles on the inside. We all have them, and it is perfectly normal. And we do not have to live in pain for the rest of our lives. We do not have to live in fear for the rest of our lives. I think that's one thing that I love the most about healing is, sure, I don't have pain anymore, but more than that, I don't have fear anymore. And until your pain is gone, you don't realize that maybe it was the fear that was so awful. Maybe it's not so much the pain, it's just the living in fear that you think something's wrong is even worse than the pain itself. Okay, I'm going to put all the notes in here. Please feel free to drop another research or journal, a study that you're aware of that can help to get this news out there, that just because you feel pain in a specific part of your body does not mean it actually it is the cause of the imaging. It could be a correlation, and we are discovering that this is very, very true, even when it is a conditioned response that is very specific to the area that you see the abnormality and you see the pain. Something you can ask yourself is, after you saw the imaging, did your pain go up? After somebody said, oh, look, here's this thing here, did your pain get worse? That's always an interesting question. Or did you have an injury and it healed, but you're still in pain? That's also a really big indication that the brain has memorized that neural pathway of pain, and the brain is subconsciously in fear and protection mode over that normal abnormality in the body. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like this, share this with anybody you know. Check out my website, thoughtbythoughtealing.com. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. And also, I did just want to mention, for those of you who follow me a lot, I am having a hard time keeping up in life right now. And as you know, a big part of healing is about living a healthy lifestyle. And so there may be times in the upcoming weeks that I don't release on Saturdays, and that is because I have learned what healthy looks like for me, and I need to stick to that. So occasionally there may be a video missing, and I would appreciate your support in that. So thanks, you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.